Crows have just become really important to me actually, and quite a symbol of lockdown, almost COVID crows maybe, I don't know. At the beginning of lockdown, I was just looking a lot and listening a lot. I was so lucky to have a garden. One particular day that's really, and it was an ongoing thing, that I saw this crow just jump on one of the trees, which is a sycamore, with a little twig in his mouth. And it really looked, I could almost hear him thinking, it might have been she actually, and just thinking, right, I might not go on this sycamore because they've actually over time cut these ones down. But so I might not go on this sycamore, but in the end hopped onto a silver birch, and it was just a beautiful thing to watch. You could honestly almost hear it thinking, and laid the first little twig down of a nest. It was just incredible. And then its partner, I don't know if it was the mum or dad, came along with another twig and just tried to put it on the other one, and it fell down, and it was just like, no! So this crow went to find it, or found another one, and then came up and started, and from then they started building this nest, which was so symbolic. It's just been amazing to watch these two crows build this nest over time. And as it was at the beginning of spring, as the nest developed, the leaves started just growing over. So actually it was like a performance that I couldn't actually see. It was amazing. And then I could just hear what was going on because the leaves were gradually growing over in front of it. And then one day I saw the two crows that had hatched, because I haven't been able to see any of it because it's been covered, and they're the same size as the crows, as their mum and dad. They're all a bit sort of, you know, feathers not as preened and everything, but they're the same size. And I was thinking, there's four crows, what's happening here? So another thing that's happened in COVID, I've had time, luckily, I've been able to have time to look things up and just find all these things out. And apparently, yeah, they just grow really quickly and they're the size of their mum and dad. So then I've watched them like teenagers, hopping and flying and doing all these things. And it's just become a real symbolic thing of, you know, a beginning, a thing of growth, renewal. It's just become an amazing thing. And I did start doing some sculptures and pieces about it as well. So very, very inspiring for me. I actually got quite obsessed with nests because I was seeing this whole building, and it seemed such a wonderful thing to be in a, you know, such awful times, to actually see this real positivity as well, and you know, in a new family as well. I started making these nests out of wire and fabric, and it was like old 50s fabric. So I found all these things that I was doing quite interesting actually, so what the materials were that I was choosing and how I was doing it. Instead of doing things really quickly that I might normally do, I really felt a need, and it was just part of me that I was doing things really quietly and being quite in the moment. It was just a natural thing that was happening, so I responded to that. And there was one day, it was quite raining, and it was just tapping on the window. It was really lovely. It was a really nice sound, and I felt the real need to have my sewing machine, have this tapping of the window it was quite reassuring with this rain, and then with my sewing machine just really go really slowly with the stitches up the side of this fabric, and just really listen to each stitch and go get the really lovely momentum going. And I just did loads and loads and loads of them, but it felt a really important thing to do. And then with these pieces, the fabric with wiring, I created a nest.